Not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna eat during this. I don't really care this week. It's so over. We're so cooked. And like, look, if you want to try to be like, look, you know, come on now, don't fear monger about the Republicans and all that shit. I'm done. I'm not even gonna turn on the light today. This is not a good week for the country, for politics, for any of it. I was gonna talk about this glorious victory, huge margin of absolute winning, about Zohran Mamdani clutching the Democratic nomination. And you know what? It's probably the only good news I've gotten this week. So I'm not going to eat the chips. I'll wait till the episode's over to eat the chips. But I will drink the ginger ale. I'm not fucking crazy, okay? So, yum. I even have a shirt that says good vibes. You know what? Zohran Mamdani won the New York City mayoral primary for the Democratic Party. Love that. I love Zohran Mamdani. I agree with literally everything he says. For the most part, I don't think he goes super hard on Israel, but that's fine. He doesn't have to, as proven by his campaign. He's the mayor of New York, not the mayor of Tel Aviv. So, he's said all he needs to say about Israel, and I think if I was in New York City, I would vote for Zohran Mamdani. And of course, Republicans are responding in the most racist way possible, and even some Democrats. This is an Instagram link. Fuck. Representative Andy Ogles, whoever that person is, I really don't know who this is. He AI generated some photo that makes him look like super chiseled and stuff. And I don't think that's even what he looks like, right? I mean, yeah, what? Come on, bro. The chin doesn't exist. Your neck is literally melting into your face, and this is the guy you think you look like? He said, bye-bye, little Muhammad. If you lied on your N400 naturalization forms, you're going home. So what part of the form says you love capitalism? Does it really say that? I don't think so. He's also not a Soviet Union-style communist. He's a democratic socialist who literally just wants to open some government-owned grocery stores to see if it works. And he's even said if it doesn't work, so be it. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of sabotaging involved. What is this? What? Oh, it's Mother Jones. Okay. Oh, hey, look at that. It's Mother Jones. But I have a feeling somebody's going to try to organize some movement to sabotage the city-owned grocery stores. If people want to make their lives worse, I guess that's just what they're going to do. There's going to be people out there that are like, you know what, actually, I want to pay $400 for groceries. Because why not? Oh, you're telling me it cost probably $100 to make all the stuff I just bought, but I'm paying $400 for it? Oh well. Guess that's just life. I think it's actually Biden's fault. Senator Kristen Gillibrand, which I'm pretty sure she's a Democrat, right? I mean, isn't she? Yeah, she's a Democrat who represents, did represent the New York 20th district. What is she now? Oh, she's the senator from New York. Oh, come on, bro. Now, for the record, she did apologize for this. However, it's still awful that she even said it in the first place. She said in reference to Zohran Mamdani, that Zohran supported a quote global jihad. You know what really tickles my gears? It really enrages me to some extent is when white people and like white supremacists and liberals and people in government and just a lot of people, when they come out and they go, hey guys, isn't this Arabic word scary? You know, and then like all the people going, oh, Zohran Mamdani wants he wants to globalize the Intifada. Do you know what Intifada means? It means an uprising. It means social change. It's just an Arabic word for uprising or revolution or social change. That's all it is. In fact, the Holocaust Museum used to classify the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising as the Warsaw Ghetto Intifada, and as of last year changed it out of fear and out of negative attention from conservatives. You know, I love it when white people, racists, take Arabic words and just make them like these weird, scary things. Like, I mean, it's racist that she said that he supports a global jihad, because you know what she's implying with that. But jihad doesn't mean the thing that people say it means. Like, people think jihad means like you want to launch like terrorism against the population. But like, here you go. Jihad is the Arabic word for struggle. So, you know, if you want to bring upon a global jihad, they're literally just saying you want to bring upon a global overcoming of struggle. But you know, in the ears of Americans, it sounds really scary. Charlie Kirk said, would you like to see ICE deport NYC mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani, a Muslim who was born in Uganda? Actually, this isn't the only thing Charlie said. I added this to the doc a few days ago when it came out. Also, yes, there is not a single bad picture of Mamdani. I mean, bro is serving in every photo. He's 33. He's serving every photo. Dude. How is this even still up? That's a crazy thing to comment. I can't even say that out loud. I might get put on a watch list. It's really weird. Like, Charlie Kirk's been going off about how it's like Jim Crow era racism. It's really odd. Charlie specifically has been saying in the media, like he went on Megyn Kelly's show, saying that Muslims globally are horrible people and cannot handle any position of power without screwing things up. He said that he knows some good Muslims, so he's not saying that all Muslims are bad. That's what he specified, but that if a Muslim becomes New York City mayor, then that would mean the two largest economic cities, London and New York, will be taken over by radical Muslims. That's what Charlie Kirk said. Now, he tries to say like, oh, I'm not as bad as Benny Johnson, who said, I don't even know what he said, but he said something a little bit more racist. but it doesn't help his case. What he said is still so, like, unbelievably racist. It doesn't matter. You know? It's just so crazy what Charlie's been saying about him. He's not even necessarily attacking his policies. That's the thing, is like you would think they would go straight for the socialism line, but they're instead like dialing it up to 9/11 racism towards Muslims times like 6. And I think it's going to backfire heavily on them. I mean, obviously he's going to become the mayor at this point. I have no doubt about that one. But like, they're really trying here to smear him. And it's like, they're gonna, I mean, I think the socialism line of attack might have some effect on the electoral outcome, though not a lot. But I think this line of attack of like, he's an extreme radical Muslim figure, I feel like will just backfire so hard on the conservative front during this election. I feel like it's going to backfire so bad for them. It's just really interesting to watch. The New York governor would not say, Kathy Hochul would not say if she would endorse Zohran Mamdani. I don't believe she has said it yet, still, since I've added this to the doc. Oh, there's some stuff going on. Whoa. Interesting. One of her top aides was just suspended after sexual harassment allegations. Wow. They're everywhere. Hey, he's just Italian, huh? He does it to everybody. I actually don't know the gender of the aide, but whatever. I'm assuming it's a man. Hey, you know, that aide might be Italian. They probably do it to everybody, huh? Rishi Torres wants to primary. Oh, he's not gonna primary her. Good. Oh my god. Rishi Torres is such a fucking monster. I want to see if I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to say that she didn't endorse him and then turns out she did. Yeah, it looks like she still hasn't as of this recording. She declined to endorse Mamdani. The lieutenant governor, Antonio Delgado, did endorse Mamdani. And I'm pretty sure he's also trying to, I think he's also trying to primary her in her re-election bid. Because I think she's going for, I think she's going for a second term. And I'm pretty sure he's going to try to primary her, which will be interesting to watch. It's so bizarre. Like, it's so weird to watch the Democratic Party just totally collapse in this race because they can't handle a Democratic Socialist who's popular, who is more popular than Eric Adams. Bro smashed out his primary harder than Eric Adams could have even dreamed of. But they just cannot handle this non-white Democratic Socialist candidate. I mean, like, good Lord, they barely rallied behind Kamala Harris, and she's like a neoliberal, simply because of the fact that she's a black woman. Zohran Mamdani, they're like afraid of being labeled as terrorist. They don't like his Israel messaging because they're all AIPAC recipients. They don't like the democratic socialist stuff because they're all ruthless capitalists who only care about the rich and tearing down the poor and using class division disguised as like, oh, you know, these immigrants are actually doing this to you. And then you're distracted from the real struggle, which is the class struggle. Apparently, big donors are trying to convince Curtis Sliwa, I guess that's how you say his last name, I don't know, who's the Republican candidate, by the way, on the ticket, to drop out of the race. Because if he's on the ticket, it's going to be Zoran as the Democrat, Curtis as the Republican, Eric Adams as the incumbent independent, and then Andrew Cuomo as the other independent. We have the incumbent mayor who was being investigated by the DOJ and is being held hostage by the Trump DOJ because they basically are saying you have to do everything we ask or else we're going to reopen your DOJ case and put you in jail. You have the former governor of New York who left office in disgrace because he was caught allegedly sexually harassing multiple women, then tried to sue for their gynecological records. Is it even alleged at this point that he did all of that? I'm just going to say that to be safe because I don't remember if it's alleged or not. But he even apparently tried to sue for their gynecological records. He worked with his brother Chris Cuomo, who was an anchor on CNN and a popular primetime slot, worked with his brother behind the scenes to get confidential information on the identities of the women. A Republican who his group is on camera on Fox News beating an immigrant for no reason. And this dude is a like disgusting Republican who lost his election against Eric Adams. And then you have Zoran Mamdani. Pretty good candidate. Pretty popular. Pretty cool. I literally can't think of anything bad to say about him. Which is rare. I have so much to say about other Democrats. It is rare that I don't have something bad to say about a Democrat. But he's barely even a Democrat. He's a Democrat in name, not in practice. He's a leftist. Love that. And I love that the Republican is going to take away votes from Eric Adams. Apparently, the New York Post is saying that they want to coalesce Eric Adams, behind Eric Adams as the Republican nominee. Sure. Okay. Although Curtis is not budging. They're trying to give him a job in the Trump administration. He's not budging on this at all. It's pretty funny. Even if Eric Adams ran as a Republican, he's so unpopular in New York City. Bro accepted a bribe from the Turkish, from some Turkish group who wanted their embassy or something like that to pass a code inspection a little faster than usual. And so they were like giving him stuff and like gifts. And one of their really sad and depressing demands was they wanted him to deny the Armenian genocide. Like, how pathetic is that? That they wanted him to deny the existence of the Armenian genocide. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. It's so stupid. Yeah, I mean, Sorry. I have a list of his policies, of Zoran's policies. I'm not going to go through them. You guys should just look him up on his website. He wants 5 city-ran grocery stores, 1 in each borough. I'll go over them briefly. 5 city-ran grocery stores, 1 in each borough. He wants free busing. He wants to freeze the rent, so the rent doesn't go any higher. Because he said that's at no cost to the taxpayer. He said that it doesn't have to go any higher than it already is. Raise the corporate tax rate to match New Jersey's corporate tax rate at 11.5%. He wants to increase the tax rate on people making $1 million by adding a flat tax rate of 2% to anyone making over $1 million. Not bad. It's not a lot of money. Like, it's not a huge increase. I don't see why that'd be a big deal. He wants universal child care. Yeah. Let me tell you, love this guy. What was the final vote count? Oh yeah, he got 56% of the primary vote during the ranked choice voting ballot counting. 56% to Cuomo's 44. Loser. Oh. Here we go. This was Trump's response. It finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zoran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary and is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC plus 3 dummies all backing him, and even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. Weird how it's not in all caps. But yeah, so now that Trump is attacking him, he's basically ensured a Zoran Mamdani win in the general election. Whew, I'm gonna eat one chip. They look really tempting. Whoa. It was that loud. It peaked to the microphone on my end. That almost never happens. Let's move on. Does this coincide? No, it doesn't. Good. This doesn't coincide with my next topic. I didn't want to spoil the BBL that we received in the Senate this week. That made me so sad at the beginning of the episode. A few days ago, Fetterman, John Fetterman, our favorite senator, said he was going to not restrict Trump's war powers. Because what if a future president wanted to do it? Why is this man still a Democrat? He has cost us Pennsylvania. He really has. Just an absolute brain dead moron. Absolutely stupid. Like, beyond stupid. I guess it's offensive to call him brain dead because he did have a stroke. Although that's not what I had in mind when I said brain dead. It's just bizarre how predictable it is at this point. He just loves voting with the Republicans. He also has received 6 figures from AIPAC. You know, him saying that he saw an anti-Semitic hate crime, and that's what made him so ferociously, violently pro-Israel. More pro-Israel than, like, most Republicans are. It's such a lie. He got that big 6-figure income from AIPAC, and that's what he has chosen to sell out his people for. You know, the people of Pennsylvania are never going to listen to the Democrats again. if this is the guy that they got after listening to us say that you should vote for this guy over Dr. Oz. It is so ridiculous how much he has screwed the Democratic Party in Pennsylvania. Fetterman said this one does coincide with the new story. When voting on the big beautiful bill, the senators basically had to stay in Congress in case a vote was called. They had to be there to vote on amendments. They had to be there to vote on the actual bill itself. Fetterman said, quote, "Oh my God, I just want to go home. I've already missed my entire trip to the beach. There's no drama that we know the votes are going to go." And someone said, yeah, quiet quitting at my boring ass job as the senior senator from Pennsylvania. Why is this man always complaining that he has to do his job as a senator? I don't get it. If I was a Democratic lawmaker, that would be the only thing I focus on, pretty much. Yeah, I would probably take a trip every now and then. As a normal lower middle class American, I plan to take a vacation in a month. I have 1 month to go on my vacation. You know, that's not going to stop if I became a senator or a representative. But also, I would only do that in the off season. If we're like voting on one of the most important pieces of legislation in modern American history, I'm not going to cry about it. Like, I'm not going to cry about having to be there to vote on it. It's my job. The big beautiful bill, which I guess we'll just get into it, is one of the most disastrous, most consequential bills for the United States of America in modern history. More consequential than the Patriot Act, I would argue. More consequential than anything Reagan passed, which is insane, because Reagan ruined a lot of our public systems and all of that. He basically destroyed the public sector during his presidency. This will nail the final nail into the coffin. I mean, this will hammer the final nail into the coffin. This is the beginning of right-wing Nazi Germany-style fascism. We're done. Rural hospitals are going to close at unprecedented rates. People that live in rural areas, especially in Republican constituencies, in Republican areas, are going to just start dying at unprecedented rates because they don't have access to health care. Millions of people on Medicare are going to lose their health coverage. Lots of people under the ACA are now going to have a harder time re-enrolling, and many of them are going to lose their coverage in the next 10 years. It cripples our public infrastructure. I can't even go into everything in the bill. It's so dense. It's so dense. It guts our social safety nets. Guts them. I don't know what to say. This is an absolutely disastrous bill. Absolutely disastrous. And you've got this ogre in the Senate complaining that he has to actually do his job. God forbid he do the job he was voted in to do. Insane. I don't get it. When they elected this guy, they thought he was actually going to represent them in the Senate. Said he's out here crying about having to actually do his job. Oh, one of the most consequential parts of this bill that I forgot about, surprisingly, is that this gives Trump his own personal army that can be deployed on U.S. soil. And it is ICE's budget being increased to nearly $50 billion. It has a larger budget now than the Marines, dude. So this bill went through the Senate, 51 to 50. It was a 50-50 vote with a few Republicans dissenting, and JD Vance was the tie-breaking vote. This bill pretty much officially increases the ICE budget to disastrous numbers, cuts lots of funding from Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, ups the Medicaid work requirements, which means that a lot of people who have to stay home to take care of their family, a lot of old people who don't work anymore, or people with disabilities who can't work a certain amount of time, those people will now lose their Medicaid eligibility because they can't meet these new work requirements. All of the SNAP funding is now being shifted over to the states. The states now have to fund SNAP, now have to add their own... Oh, the bill adds its own age and work requirements for that, by the way. But the states have to fund SNAP. So a lot of people are about to lose that. Oh, I didn't even know this. It adds a bunch of fees for immigration visas and asylum seekers. So now you have to pay a lot of money, even more than before, to be here. And then another $150 billion for defense spending. Wow. We needed that. I forgot to mention this will also add like $3 trillion to the debt. So any of you deficit hawks out there, we're about to add $3 trillion to the deficit, or to the national debt. So I don't know what to say. This bill is disastrous. Oh, I wrote it. 3 Republicans voted no on the bill. 3. Sorry, I wanted to show this meme. I thought it was funny. To lighten the mood a little bit, because I am kind of on a roll of being a doomerist. But this is a big deal. This is a... Oh, man. This is a big deal. This is a major piece of legislation. This is more impactful than anything that's been passed. Oh, a train. It's very rare, actually, that a train comes through here. This is the most, probably the most consequential bill to be passed in the last 40 years, if I had to argue. And now that I have said that, the Democratic Party's response in both chambers, the Senate and the House, has been fucking awful, disastrous, embarrassing. Chuck Schumer was talking a big game. He said, we're going to vote on every amendment in the bill. We're going to vote on every single thing in the bill. We're going to have the Senate parliamentarian read out the entire bill. It's going to delay it all this time. You know, they don't have a supermajority in the Senate. We can filibuster this bill all we want. We're going to do this to the bill. We're going to do that. You know what Chuck Schumer has to his name in regards to this bill? Because, as you know, it passed the Senate like a day after he said all that stuff. This is what Chuck Schumer's big accomplishment was with this bill.
President, I raise a point of order against page 1, lines 3 to 5 of the pending amendment, which violates Section 313B1A of the Congressional Budget Act of 1974.
The point of order is sustained. The text will be stricken.
All he did was remove the name of the bill. Now, granted, has the Senate removed some pretty devastating parts of the bill from the original bill? Yes, but it still passed through the Senate. There were still enough people. That senator from Alaska, you'll get it. You'll lose your seat. You sold out your entire state for this. She literally told the House to vote no on the bill. After voting yes on the bill. She had voted no on the bill in the Senate, it wouldn't have passed the Senate. It would have been a 51-49 no on the bill. No tie-breaking needed. The bill would have failed in the Senate. All Chuck Schumer did was change the name of the bill. I said publicly, I can't wait to die under the budget reconciliation bill as opposed to dying under the one big beautiful bill. Thank you, Chuck. How is this an accomplishment? I don't get it, Mr. Pussy. Oh my God, what the fuck? He's like boasting about it. I just forced Republicans to delete their ridiculous bill name. It's no longer named the One Big Beautiful Bill. Nothing about this bill is beautiful. It's a betrayal to American families, and it's undeserving of such a stupid name. This is all he did. This is the Senate Minority Leader for the Democratic Party. This is all he did. That's all he did. Keep in mind, the other senator from his state just said that Zoran Mamdani is going to commit global jihad and then had to walk it back. These are the type of people that we're dealing with here. These people are not on our side. They are not fighting for us. It's just so... Please, is this the actual representative account for this guy? No way. Is it really? Damn, now that's resistance. Imagine if the People's Liberation Army had been forced to just call themselves the People's Army. It boggles the mind. Wow. They're telling him to resign. Pride in changing the least important part is nothing to be proud of. The name is irrelevant. The subject matter is what's important. You're a shill for the establishment. Pathetic. Yup. Oh, I forgot. This bill also bars future presidents from being able to waive away federal loans, like federal student loans. So remember when Biden ran on eliminating federal student loans and then barely did it? He only eliminated some, sort of. Yeah, this would bar any future president from being able to do that. It also changes up how the payments are done. So instead of the federal loan debt going away after a few decades, you're paying that for the rest of your life. You're on Social Security and you still have student loan debt. Yeah, you're paying it for the rest of your life. Your Social Security checks will be garnished for that student loan payment. So you can thank him for that too. But thank you, Chuck Schumer. I'm so glad that this bill that passed the Senate, by the way, by one tie-breaking vote from the vice president, I'm so glad that you got rid of the name. That it's still being called the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's just it's no longer written in the bill itself. So thankful for that, Chuck Schumer. Thank you for fighting the good fight, you absolute clown ass moron. Pathetic, worthless Democrat. Worthless anything. What a pointless senator. What a useless senator. What does he represent? Seriously. Admit this to me. If in 2009, when the ACA was being introduced, and it said in the bill, this is the Obamacare program, and a Republican minority leader in the Senate posted, hey guys, we just removed the name of the act. Now it's just called the Affordable Care Act instead of being called Obamacare. Could you imagine the clown show that would go down? That guy would have been erased from history in like a Joseph Stalin style erasure. They would have removed him from the Senate, primaried him into the sun, and made sure there was no mention of him ever again in the Republican Party. Where is that same energy for the Democrats? And we're not done. We're not even close to done. Because there's another chamber of Congress called the House of Representatives. Hakeem Jeffries. Man. Sorry, I just see his face. Let's look at what he said first. Oh, hold on. Let's refresh.
Expose the truth to the American people because the American people deserve the truth. This is the largest assault on health care in American history. It's an assault on Medicaid, on Medicare, and on the Affordable Care Act, which will result in millions of people who currently get health care coverage from the Affordable Care Act losing access to their health care.
This guy is such a wet blanket of charisma. Wow. Wow, I feel really inspired right now. I feel so inspired right now. I can't believe this charismatic leader of the Democratic Party in the House is like, wow, we need to show the American people that this bill is bad. It's the largest assault on healthcare in American history. Go into the details, dude. Come on. Why can't we get... This is what we need. We need a traditionally Republican state that has a Democrat serving in it. We need them to be super charismatic, good on messaging, progressive, and they need to be the House leader of the Democrats. Same thing with the Senate. Now, why are two New Yorkers leading the Democratic Party? It makes the Democratic Party look like elites. It makes them out of touch. Both of these leaders have zero charisma, have zero trust from their own constituency. They're horrible. We need someone like, I know Andy Bashir's the governor, but we need someone like him as these leaders. Like if John Ossoff or Raphael Warnock were the Senate minority leaders, that would play so well. It would play so well. Because you know what people see when they see people like this? They just see, oh, you're from New York. You represent New York. You're from like one of the largest Democratic strongholds in the country. And also, you are so boring to listen to. Aside from this wet blanket speech,
It's the largest assault.
this is what was posted to his account. What is this? What is this? House Democrats will keep the pressure on Trump's big ugly bill. What is this? I don't get it. It's just a photo of him with a baseball bat. One, is bro 4'9"? Oh my god. Dude is so tiny. He's so short. Two, why is he holding a baseball bat? Is he gonna beat people in the house? I mean, okay. Good strat, I guess. This is just so embarrassing. Yeah, who thought this photo was a good idea? That's what I want to know. I want to know why 90% of the Democratic decisions are made. I want to know what the thought process is behind a lot of the decisions made in this party. Because it is bad. It's like how that one person said that, or that one person made it to where Kamala was forced to say, we have the most lethal fighting force in the world during her DNC speech, and then forced Tim Walz to no longer show up on camera as often. It's probably someone like that who was like, yeah, hey, Hakeem Jeffries, stand in your office with a baseball bat. Let me take your photo. Hey, House Republicans, look at this. Look at this photo. He's got a bat. He's so strong. He's got a good... He's gonna fight the good fight against this Bill. I don't know why it's just evolving into Bill Clinton. But there you go. There you go. This is so stupid. And that's my politics for this week. Oh, they also built a concentration camp in Florida. Look up Alligator Alcatraz and read up on it. They straight up built a concentration camp in Florida for immigrants. Moving on. I'll end it with this. On Sunday, I almost died in a car accident. Somebody cut me off in an intersection, and I was within probably 6 inches from slamming into their car. But I employed some evasive maneuvers. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I hit the brakes as hard as I possibly could, and then I swerved the car. Originally started to go to the right, realized the dude wasn't going to stop, but he was committing to the turn, going as slow as possible. Then I quickly swerved to the left and narrowly avoided his car by like this much, probably like 6 inches. And then still had enough room on the road to swerve back into my lane. And I just kept driving. Now, was I shaken up and was I like freaked out? Yeah. But I kept driving. I had places to be, dog. We had places to go. And then I ate a yummy chicken sandwich for dinner. It was a barbecue chicken sandwich. So that's my car accident story. My witness protection story. In 2020, I was on a delivery with a coworker, and we were in Roswell, Georgia. Like the Marietta, Roswell area. And we needed to stop for gas. And, I needed to pee, so I went inside, went to the bathroom, looked around, looking for an energy drink, something to just drink. It was hot. It was like the end of July. And, actually, no, it wasn't the end of July. I think it was the beginning of August. That matters because I was on vacation in July. In the beginning of July, it was hot. I was probably looking for an energy drink or like for a cherry glacier, or glacier cherry Gatorade, because I was big into those at the time. Those are so good. Ice cold glacier cherry Gatorade, goated flavor. While I was in there, I ran into this guy, super weird dude. He like bumped into me. And then he covered his face up and kept going. Well, my coworker was in the gas station at this point, and he saw the guy. They like made eye contact or something, and he recognized like a tattoo on the dude. And then the guy like quickly rushed out of the gas station, and then got in his car but didn't leave right away. After we get out, note that we parked really far away from this gas station because the van didn't fit into any of the parking spots. So we parked in like this empty lot right next door. My coworker tries to approach the car that the guy's in. The dude leaves. We meet up at the van and he's like, dude, I swear to God, I know who that guy is. I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I know that guy. He said, that dude died in like some weird, like awful way. He said the guy had the same tattoo that he was like, I gave him that tattoo. That's what he said to me. He said that dude had a very distinct tattoo in the same spot and looked just like the guy that died. And then this is the crazy part, he shows me a photo of the guy. I'm not going to say who it is, because if this guy's actually in witness protection, I don't want to ruin this for him. But he like shows me the photo of the dude, and I was like, oh my God, that's the guy that bumped into me. Like, it was undeniably the same guy. We were in the same area that the dude grew up in. Not grew up in, but this dude frequented this area. I think he was from a different part of Georgia, but he frequented this area. You know, he looked just like the guy, and he was acting so suspicious. And my coworker knew him personally, was super close with him. But apparently towards the end of his life, he got super involved with like drug cartels and drug gangs, and then one day just died. But my coworker is now under the belief that this dude is in witness protection and is still alive. The guy looked just like the photo. It was crazy. I've never had that happen to me before, where I see somebody in real life and there's someone in witness protection. I'm pretty sure this is why they tell you to leave the state when you're in witness protection. Like, they kind of force you to start a new life somewhere else in the country so you don't bump in to someone that you know. But yeah, that was my crazy story. That was kind of all I had. This ginger ale's so good, I'm so mad I didn't put another one in the fridge. I can't believe it. I knew I should have had another one in the fridge. But yeah, that's the episode. Not a full hour like the other ones, but I covered everything I wanted to cover in a way that I wanted to cover it. But yeah, to tease, I might do a Terraria world tour of my childhood Terraria world. Because I was like, oh, that world's not that old. That world's old enough to where I had to cloud save it and transfer it to this computer in 2017. It's a world that I made in 2016. Is it good? Not really. Is it cool, though? I think it's pretty cool. I like it. So I'm going to do a Terraria world tour. And I'm going to eat these chips. Thanks for watching. You can support this podcast on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can you can subscribe and get bonus content if you select the right tier, or you can just subscribe to the lower tiers and support. Listen to this podcast on other platforms like Apple Podcast or your Samsung fridge. Buy our merch, and I hope you have a good rest of your week and day. Have a good weekend as well. Peace.